Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are leasing my review of Dreamhouse Days DX, Kairosoft's reimagining of their most popular game to date. In this title, you manage an apartment complex, constructing every resident's personal unit from scratch by customizing their furniture layout alongside perusing their daily lives. Let's jump right into this title and answer the question of what makes Dreamhouse Days the most popular Kairosoft game.
Yes, let me personally welcome you to Bow's Heights, the most luxurious and upkept estate in all of Kairosoftia.
Well, not quite. As usual, this game starts with one singular tenant before working up to managing the bustling management complex of your dreams. Let's jump right into the starting months of constructing the aspiring Bow's Heights. And we are welcoming our first ever resident, Doug Hauser. Great name, straight to the punch. I like it. But I don't like your hairstyle too much. We will have to fix that up later in the video for you, my friend.
We're always doing too much. Boy, is this alcohol?
We have all got to start somewhere, and Doug, well, he's starting in an apartment with only a bed. Thanks for your bond money. Enjoy your stay, Doug. Yeah, I don't know how this guy agreed to sign up with just a bed, but apparently it suits his needs. For existing fans of the channel, you might recognize I usually talk about the history of the game in this section, but this has now moved to the middle of the video, so don't worry, I'll still cover that in today's review. So be sure to keep watching so you don't miss it. And if you are enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe, as 86% of viewers aren't subscribed. In a similar fashion to other Kairosoft games, you will start slow, just managing a small amount of customers before ramping up the size of your facility. In this instance, we have just Mr. Hauser to house, if you will. This brings us to the primary gameplay aspect of Dreamhouse Days DX, and a unique Kairosoft quirk that is actually exclusive to this title, being able to completely customize and arrange furniture of your residents' rooms. This may seem like a small feature at first, but this actually adds so much personalization and customization potential to each and every single resident's individual space. It is truly a next level customization experience. Let's start basic with Mr. Doug Hauser's apartment here before, let's say, getting, a bit experimental with the other residents' places. Doug Hauser is a simple man, you know, he appreciates the small things. I mean, the man agreed to sign the lease of an apartment that's literally just only containing a bed in a room. The man is a minimalist, and I respect that. Let's keep to his minimalist theme and add in some basic amenities, a bookshelf, a kitchen, and a desk and chair. What's that? A toilet and a shower, you say? Please, I haven't unlocked those yet. Sorry, Doug, you already signed the lease and that's your problem now. Make do in your own ways until I am able to research into a toilet bath and a sink basin, and you bet I will be increasing your rent amount when that time comes around, my loyal resident. To unlock new facilities in this game, you research new discoveries in the Action tab in the menu. Once you have begun researching your desired item, it will gradually unlock once enough time has passed, filling the research bar. As you look to expand your facility by drawing in new residents, you will hold applications where groups of residents express interest in renting the suite of their dreams. Their interest is entirely based on the comfort stat of the apartment. Adding in new furniture and facilities for them to use will increase the comfort and success rate of recruiting new applicants. So you'll have to be sure to find a nice variety of furniture types to attract and successfully get a new resident to move in. A detail that I find hilarious in this game is the residents themselves propose the amount of bond that they will pay for the apartment. The fancy attention-grabbing icon around the amount is just hilarious. Wow, only 5k for a deposit? What a steal that I proposed. Oh no, what have I done? Could you imagine if in real life you could bargain with real estate agents with your own custom bond amounts? Yes, I would like to deposit my bond into the penthouse suite with a smacking $50 note, cash in hand, and, wait for it, my pet rock collection. And yes, the googly eyes do move. Sold. Deal of the century. You'll also discover and collect a range of items to enhance both the residents' stats and also the apartments themselves. You get fitness points from going to the toilet? Man, I need to up my fiber and coffee intake and I will be ripped. My personal favorite item is the rent booster item, aka the harbinger of depression. Hey, this game is keeping up with 2024 standards. I better stock up on hundreds of these items to make sure all my struggling tenants overpay for their tiny apartments. Haha, what's this? You want an amenity that is currently not working that I am liable for fixing? What do you think this is, some kind of charity? Rent booster, go! And look here, we get our second ever resident, and we can actually customize the name, so let's call him Little John. Little John was surprised to see his room was only 2 by 2 meters squared. First, he expanded the room by calling Grizzly Barrington to expand the grounds and increase the total square footing with galvanized square steel beams. Then he borrowed screws from his aunt to firmly fix it in place, and now he has an additional 1 meter per side. Something that I really enjoy about the research system in this game is that you can research existing furniture to gather more quantities of them, allowing you to stock up on large amounts of your favorite interior decorations. Why might this be appealing, you ask? Well, for a normal typical user case, a normal person might spread out, let's say, multiple windows across multiple apartments, allowing everyone to have a beautiful view of their surroundings with their own view of the outside world. But this is no typical playthrough. This is where I would like to introduce to you Bow's Heights' signature attractions, our one-of-a-kind themed rooms. On the fence of moving in? Well, let me sweeten the deal by introducing you to our very first signature themed room, the Windows 03 Suite. What's so special about this room, you may be thinking to yourself? Well, the only furniture conveniently placed right next to the bed that you sleep in every night are 3 consecutive windows right next to each other. That's right, the only form of entertainment you will have in this apartment is constantly staring out your very own window wall, straight into the hallways and terrified eyes of your adjacent neighbor. This room's theme is literally having only one theme, the ultimate one-of-a-kind themed room. Anytime your neighbor goes out to talk to their love interest in the hall, you will be there watching. Anytime the neighbor heads out to work, you will be in your bed watching them. And after the neighbor's long day of work, exhausted from working their 9 to 5 just to be able to afford a beautiful room in Bow's Heights, yep, you guessed it, they will pass through the grand 03 Windows Suite and view their neighbors perpetually bedrotting in their bedroom. The purpose of this room is to actually identify a secret sociopath that would actually be happy to live here, only watching people from their bed for entertainment. Now, admittedly, it did take a lot of rental hostings to find a candidate. Most of the people just scoffed, meh, they say, at the lack of any sort of basic human necessities, like the access to toilets and a kitchen to cook with. But after countless rental parties, it finally happened. It looks like we finally have a taker for the Windows Creeper Suite. They are even willing to pay a whopping 4.5k deposit to spy on the neighbors extremely visibly. Let's name them Stephen McWindows. And busted, Stephen. We are going to be keeping in close notes on you at all of your very limited movements. Only a madman would accept this asylum. What have you got to say for yourself, huh? The thought of a fresh start here makes me giddy. A fresh start, hey? What exactly lies in your past, Stephen McWindows? I'm already getting a case of the heebie-jeebies from this guy. We're going to have to perform some extra safety measures for this suspicious individual. Let's see if it's possible to remove the doors from Stephen McWindows' room so he is eternally doomed to suffer in his room. And would you look at that? You actually can. He's holed up in his room. And what? He just got paid. How is this man able to be paid while stuck in here? What is he even doing? That's hilarious to me. I'm going to keep Stephen holed up in there to reflect on his life choices. Let's move on to the next gameplay aspect in the meantime. The next major component to cover for the gameplay is the residents' daily lives themselves. Residents have their own dream jobs that they aspire to aim for, and you can even personalize these ambitions using items so there can be jobs with higher wages, which of course means exploiting higher rents. Oh yeah, here comes the money. Mr. Hauser here is shooting for the stars, aspiring to be an office worker? Doug has big aspirations with massive dreams to become another cog in the corporate machine. Very inspirational. And wow, would you look at that? He's even searching for a girlfriend. This game introduces the concept of residents dating and even living together in the same unit. Dougie boy, we've got to spruce you up a bit for your big date, man. Let's adjust your name to be Doug House Owner. Nope, too long. How about just Doug Houseown? And just like that, he is on his way to his very own first date. They say dates go better for those with high charisma. This game actually measures the riz of its tenants. Looks like Big Doug is back from his date, and how did it go, buddy? Oh boy, he's about 1/6 of the first of 3 hearts being complete. Well, don't worry, buddy, that just means by the 18th date, she might like you back. Persistence is key after all. We've just got to raise your riz, my friend. For the first step, we can start by changing that yee-ass haircut to something better. And would you look at that, his riz just increased with just the cut. What a jump. The only remaining step at this point is signing you up to one of those YouTube pickup artist paid dating courses that totally isn't a complete scam at all, and he'll be approaching and harassing women without their consent with terrible pickup lines in no time. And check this out, Little John is off to work. I love that the tenants have their own schedules every day. It makes the game feel very complete. This game in particular does a spectacular job of having the residents always doing something. Seriously, one of the best things about this game is the animations of the residents using literally all of their placeable furniture in their apartments. I mean, this is just amazing. Kairosoft always go above and beyond with their details, but this is truly next level. Check out Doug here singing a lovely splish splash while washing his face in the basin. Peak animation design. This game truly goes above and beyond with the amount of interaction that the residents have with all the furniture in the facilities, and even interacting with each other in the shared hallways. Maybe there's even such a thing as too many animations. Oh dear lord, no. Little John is getting into the tub. Oh my god, are those exposed kneecaps in my Kairosoft game? Oh, the humanity. Now that Little John is all bathed up and it's got his kneecaps clean, he's going for his dream job. Huh. Also dreaming of being an office worker, hey? There sure are a lot of residents dreaming to be office workers in Bowers Heights. Maybe the market for 2 meters by 2 meters square apartments in New York isn't so hot after all. And oh boy, he didn't even get accepted into the lowest paying job. He's really getting screwed over more than the amount of screws he's borrowing from his aunt. Alongside the individual residents' apartments, you can even customize the layout and furniture of the hallways in the building. How neat! These facilities are used by residents in the apartments to mingle with other residents and can even inspire new relationships. Looks like Little John is going out to town. This consumes a bit of wealth? My god, where in town is this guy going? Is he going to the local pub to spin his entire paycheck on the pokies? Before we torture some more residents, check in on Steven, and go into late game details of this title, let's go over the history of this game. Dreamhouse Days was Kairosoft's 15th ever international release, going by the iOS release dates, and the second ever free-to-play game released by Kairosoft, closely following the 13th release of Beastie Bay. So what's the deal with the free-to-play model of this game, and why is there now a DX paid version available? Kairosoft's free-to-play game introduced a premium in-app purchase obtainable with real money, making the games follow a free-to-play model. Initially, the games were well received by the community, but as more and more free-to-play titles were released with arguably lower quality than standard price apps, the community voiced their opinion to let Kairosoft know that this is not the company direction that their loyal fanbase wanted, with the general consensus being that their standard paid titles brought higher quality games to the table and had better user reviews. Kairosoft acknowledged the fan response and steered away from the free-to-play titles, and then began developing DX versions of their games, removing in-app purchases and ads, providing a definitive way to play some of their best games without having to rely on the in-app microtransactions. Dreamhouse Days initially being a free game is a large key factor in it having a whopping 5 million downloads on the Google Play Store alone. It blew my mind uncovering that this game is the most downloaded title in the Kairosoft library. I go over this in detail in my ranking every Kairosoft game ever video, so be sure to check that one out if you haven't already. Seriously, this statistic is mind-blowing. This is a massively successful game for Kairosoft, who are in my opinion a criminally underrated video game producer, and it makes me so happy to see that they are getting the attention that they so desperately deserve. The enhanced Dreamhouse Days DX version was later brought to the App Store in a similar order for both the iOS and Android stores, following shortly after the Beastie Bay DX release. Interestingly enough, for the Steam releases, the DX version were the only versions of the game ported with much quicker priority than the mobile releases, and Dreamhouse Days DX was prioritized releasing first before Beastie Bay DX by over half a year on Steam. I'm willing to bet my 2 cents that this is due to how popular the first Dreamhouse Days was. So what is the difference between the original version and the DX version? In the original free-to-play version, you are able to purchase tickets from WarioBot using actual money with in-app purchases, whereas the DX version allows you to purchase them using the in-game currency, a much welcome change. The DX version also removes any ads and allows for landscape mode. If you are debating which version to get, I would highly recommend the DX version for the ultimate experience, but the free-to-play titles are actually a blessing in disguise, as you can try it for free for no cost before deciding to purchase the full DX game if you enjoyed it. It's great. We are truly living in the best Kairosoft era. Now, back to the video. I think I forgot something important. If you forgot it, then it wasn't important. Yeah, you're right. Oh my god, it was Steven. Dear god, he has actually gained the ability to walk through walls. He has ascended to a state incomprehensible to us mere mortals. Surely he is going to unleash his pent-up rage of being stuck in his goon cave all day. I can only imagine the wrath he's going to unravel. And, oh my, he's rizzing up his neighbor. No way, the windows were actually a portal into viewing his upcoming love. Maybe I was wrong about you, Mr. McWindows. Who would have known that actually leaving your bedroom and going outside could lead to meeting and socializing with other human beings? Who would have thought? The incels are in shambles. I fear I may have misjudged you, my friend, and, he's just walking back and forward. Seems like he's not even able to phase back into the bedroom. He's a one-trick pony. He's just kind of stuck in the same spot, just going back and forth, like an ant lost from its trail. Oh my, he's pulling out a temporary doona to sleep on the ground. I feel so bad for him. Let's build him his door again so he can continue living his life and start a family one day. Now, the next themed room is extra special. I even got a warning from the game that placing too many of one singular item can negatively affect the comfort of the room. Please, I just can't fathom the idea of what cannot be comfortable at cramming in lamps and floor lamps into every inch of the apartment as the only feature. I am hoping to attract the elusive Mothman. Yes, this is my second one-of-a-kind room. And wow, just check out how the lamp apartment is coming along. This place is really starting to shine with all of its features. I can tell you that much. And could it be? Have we finally attracted our light connoisseur to the apartment like a moth to the flame? Kelly Shields is keen to set up camp in our very own electricity power plant. She must be keen to enjoy the comfortable, soothing white noise and hums and flickers of the lights throughout the night. It reminds me of my childhood, she claims. But that name won't do. Kelly Shields doesn't reflect her, well, bright personality. Let's name her Kelly Mothshield and allow her to cocoon up in her new dormitory. I hear she never leaves her apartment and just runs in between lamps all day. Great tenant though, 10 out of 10, never misses a payment. Would hate to know her electricity bill costs though. As you progress through the game, a variety of new features will unlock to assist you cater to your larger resident count. You'll be able to get larger sized rooms that can house a whole host of furniture and knickknacks. The larger apartments are just ace. This is where the game really starts to shine with its creative potential, and I was absolutely hooked. You are able to place walls as room dividers, allowing for really specific segmented living spaces in each of the residents' apartments. For my first larger room, I was able to set up a bedroom, kitchen, and living space, complete with TV and dining table, and a separate tiled bathroom area. This seems like a lot, but this is really only scratching the surface on the potential of making your own rooms. It's really amazing. It's time for our signature apartment to get inspected, and we pass with flying colors. Wow, both the applicants are interested. It's almost like having apartments with basic amenities like toilets and fridges lead to more applicants. Who would have thought? But that doesn't bother Stephen McWindows and Kelly Mothshield. They are about the simple things in life. They know what they both love. To each their own. No judgment here at Bows Heights. You are also able to progress the residents themselves by increasing their individual stats over the game and through the use of items. The residents are actually massively customizable and it's fantastic. Their basic stats are their intellect, hobby, fitness and charisma, but on top of these buildable stats, they also have their own unique personality. Of course, Doug Meister is the romantic sly doggy, and even down to specialties that are discovered through interior decorations. Looks like we have acquired a fashion magazine here which increases the resident's charisma. Let's give this to Dougmeister and speed up his how to become a Rizmaster stats quicker. And looky here, he's heading off to a date, so let's check in on Dougmeister's crush heart meter and look at that! That first heart is filling at a record rate. His fresh new cut is doing wonders. What's this? Love is in the air? Our number one tenant Rizzler, aka Dougmeister Houseown, is looking to tie the knot. Looks like that new haircut and those YouTube street kissing tutorials watch parties have been doing wonders. Let's approve this immediately. Let's have a squiz here at his relationships and oh my god, Dougmeister. You are flirting up two girls at the same time? Have you no shame? Well, looks like they are both extremely unsatisfied with less than one complete heart filled out each. Better to disappoint two women than to be happy with one is his life philosophy. Dougmeister Houseown, 2024. But eventually he is able to go ahead with the marriage after I researched their couple permit and we have our very first resident couple in Bows Heights. As the years pass by, they even have a child together. Let's go right ahead and approve their newborn by researching a child permit. By the way, could you imagine denying someone their ability to reproduce due to them not having a child permit? That has got to be a violation of countless basic humane laws. We've had a lot of growth here at Bows Heights. Our days of locking residents in one room are behind us. You get a child permit. You get a child permit. Everyone gets a child permit. Let's name this child Fortnite Balls, as the product of countless Riz tutorials of his father, Doug Meister Houseown. And watch as the child grows up over the years. As they grow older, they will eventually go to school, get jobs, and even move to a vacant residency of their own. Like any Kairosoft game, there are yearly rankings that you can participate in. In this game, there are specific categories that you are judged. The first category is comfort level, judging how contented a resident is. Gentlemen, get every cotton ball you can find from the local hospital. I want these residents saying that they are very, very comfortable.
Then you're ready to die.
Looks like it's time for our first ratings, and whoa, oh, did you see what I saw? That's an unfortunate number roll. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen, and oh boy, we have a lot of work to do to rise up these ranks. I have exactly the plan. More cotton balls for everybody. You can also enter a competition for how expensive the top rent is that your loyal tenant is paying. Yes, this is quite the ethical competition to have. Who is suffering in crippling debt the most? And hooray, we got rank number 1. I take that back. Highly humane practices at work here. And my opinion is no way swayed by the fact of me getting a cash prize for winning. No, not at all. And hey, look here. Looks like WarriorBot has got an item for us. WarriorBot gave you a youth scroll? Okay, something about that wording just doesn't sound right. Look, how about you go ahead and hold on to that one, WarriorBot? I don't want the FBI to be knocking up my door. Oh god, it's too late! Now I see why he's so evil. Let's move on to the Kairosoft quirks of this game. These are unique features in Kairosoft games that I like to point out that are hard to categorize and show how creative Kairosoft's game design is. The first quirk I already touched on is just how customizable each room is, being able to lay out each bit of furniture all with their own animation and uses. As usual, combos return in this game under a new name called Special Rooms. They are two pieces of furniture when placed next to each other activate a combo, granting bonuses such as increasing rent, comfort, and even resident stats. Don't forget to place the floor. Well, that is just fantastic advice. Here I was thinking of removing everyone's floor to make their commutes more effective, and of course, charging up the rent for that quality of life upgrade. This game in particular has a wealth of customization for your residents, which is a welcome addition. You are able to completely deck out the style of your residents by adjusting their hairstyle, which we saw earlier, but also their accessories, what they're wearing for their shirt, and their pants. Fit check. Are these headphones? Yeah, that's plus 2 hobby points. Oh, this top? 30k and plus 6 hobby points. You see what I'm saying? And these pants, don't even get me started. 10 bands and 2 charisma points. The amount of customization of each of the residents themselves is a fantastic feature in Kairosoft Quirk, and really makes this game stand out. With the earlier mentioned deep customization of their rooms, it's the ultimate NPC customization experience. Instead of ranking up with generic requirements in this title, you can aim to achieve bonus trophies in the trophy section. These aren't required to progress, and they provide additional bonuses if met. I also really like how they are presented. They are laid out in a super neat menu that's just a great bonus. I also like that when you get trophies, they are displayed at the top right, and it doesn't interrupt your gameplay at all. It's very seamless, and these kind of notifications are my absolute favorite. The last unique quirk I found in this title was the implementation of scratch tickets. These were a large selling point of the free-to-play version, costing tickets to purchase, which cost real money. When a resident moves in, you are able to scratch one singular tile to reveal a reward, ranging from additional bonus money to new clothes for your residents. There is even the fabled golden ticket. No, unfortunately you can't go to Willy Wonka's or Mr. Beast's chocolate factory with this, but you can scratch off 3 slots instead of 1. This is a great addition. It's super fun to get a reward just whenever someone moves in, and the clothing rewards are fantastic. Moving to a more personal anecdote, the scratchy ticket is a very sacred relic for us Australian fair dinkum true blue folk, with over 63% of adults buying a scratch card in the year of 2022. It is an integral part of Australian culture. The chances of winning a $20 scratchy is 1 in 63,000. Which no doubt plays a factor in Australia being one of the most gambling addicted countries in the world, placing in the first place for numerous years for the highest gambling loss rates and boasting an impressive 20% of the entire world's poker machines. It just makes me so proud being true blue. You can even see what suburb has the most lucky scratchy win rates. Great work, Australian news outlets. What a hard day of work and amazing news coverage you are doing. The Lord's work. Thank you for listening to my Australian facts of the day. Well, I have covered all the aspects of Dreamhouse Days DX, and wow, I'm floored by the amount of content and detail in one of Kairosoft's first ever game releases. Let's get down to writing my review of this title. Dreamhouse Days DX is an immersive, customizable experience where you manage residents living in your housing complex. The amount of gameplay aspects that you can personalize is notably high in this title, with you being able to customize the room layout and even all of the furniture inside the residents' rooms. No 2 residents' rooms will be the exact same, or they could be the exact same. The choice is in your hands. It doesn't just stop at the room layouts, as you are able to completely deck out your residence style with choice of custom clothes and accessories, job aspirations, pets, and even their love life. Your residents can tie the knot and live together, eventually having children who grow up and move into vacant lots. This game is the ultimate simulation title to knock back and watch all of your residents go about their daily lives, interact with all of their furniture, and even each other in the hallways. Each day tells a drastically unique tale. I rate this title 9 out of 10 Dreamhouse Days, DX. After playing through this title fully, it is safe to say that I can absolutely see why this original free-to-play game has the largest download count out of any Kairosoft title currently released. The sheer amount of customizable aspects in the game will keep you entertained for many playthroughs, offering new experiences each time. Have you played this title before? If so, what did you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. If this was the first time you've ever seen this game, also let me know in the comments what you thought based off the video. While you're there, also be sure to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date with my future Kairosoft and other game reviews. If you are itching for more Kairosoft content, check out my ranking every Kairosoft game ever video to help you pick your next title, or the Kairosoft video playlist to watch all of my current reviews. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.